A very good morning to you. It's a Monday morning. It's a cold, frosty one, isn't it? Whew, whew, proper chilly. So good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. We have got lots on the show today. Here's how this week is going to pan out. So you've got me today, and we're going to take a little look at clasp clutches and different ways in which you can have a go at making those, and we've got loads on the show. So there's lots of bag making happening this week for you, because tomorrow we've got a brand new guest on behalf of Mrs. H Bags, and so we welcome Titi to the studio tomorrow. She's going to be bringing the most stunning bags in gorgeous fabrics, so we're looking forward to that. And also there are a few little things. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to join us, because otherwise I will get told off for not mentioning it. It is cold, isn't it? Yeah. Morning, Jacqueline. Who else we got? Moira, hello, and Yvonne, and Karen, and Lorna, good morning, and Elaine, and Gillian, hello, and Rona, good morning, and Kate, and Helen, hello, and Kazia. I bet it's cold on the water. And Grace and Elizabeth, good morning, and Helen. Yeah, we're all good, thank you. And Valerie, good morning, and Leslie and Roma, hello, morning, Kate. Oh, hello. Claire says she's good morning. I made 4 more sets of the booties. Recipient is thrilled. I bet they're gorgeous. You're very clever. Morning, Heather and Karen and Pamela. Hello. Hi, Anne. Hi. And Val, good morning. Oh, dull and dreary, Neath. Oh, that's no good, is it? Hey, look, this is why we need our Christmas lights on. For sure. Morning, Carol. Just can't believe I actually made it this week. Well, it's lovely to have you with us. Hello. And Jenny as well. Oh, it's cold in Bracknell. And Lola, hello. And Jan and Debbie. What is it? Frosty, cold and frosty in Huntingdon. Yeah. When we took the dogs out last night, we took them up the park with the kids, and you could just feel that nip in the air when we got back. Steve and I looked at each other and went, oof, it's going to be a chilly one. Sue and Joe and Jackie, good morning. And Jill, oh, she's got a lovely day. Oh, it is lovely. Oh, good morning, Geraldine. Not at work today. Lovely. Oh, Heather says her Christmas decorations are going up today. Right, yes. So my wreath has gone up. I've got a wreath on the front door. That's about as much as I've managed. And then the kids keep coming in here and going, Mummy, why can't we decorate the rest of the house? Like, this is my zone. My zone is pretty, with pretty lights and things. But I did get, so the kids brought home a hyacinth. I hate hyacinths. The smell is just so overpowering. So they've gone in their bedrooms. And my mum loves them. She always used to have big bowls of them on the kitchen table. And I just find the smell overpowering. But the kids have planted them at school and they've got their hyacinths. So we've put them in a reindeer little tub thing. So they've started to decorate their bedrooms. That's fine. Oh, Catherine says, thank you for helping sort out my poorly Dukey. Absolute pleasure. And Lorraine, good morning. Good morning. And Debbie and Caroline, hello. It was cold walking the dogs along Norfolk country lanes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, frosty in Staffordshire moorlands as well. Good morning, Ali. Joe can hear me on YouTube but not see me. Some would say that's an advantage this morning. There's been makeup, but possibly not enough. Good morning, Laurie. How are you? Oh, coffee and a biscuit. Great start to my birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Crafty Purple Cat. Good morning. Happy birthday. And who else do we have? Oh, look. Oh, you're here. Good morning. It's so lovely to have you all. Right, so a few little notices for you before we crack on. And that is... absolutely blown away yesterday. I loaded up our Advent boxes, just testing the water really, with the ones that I'd, the ones with the stags on that I could only get hold of a certain number. And I did go back to the stockist. She's like, you've had them all. So I loaded those and they went within half an hour. And then lots of you got in touch, bless you, saying, can you do them? Can you make any more? I can't make them with the same box, but if you're happy to have a different box, I've managed to find wooden ones with hinge lids that you can then use all year round. Then I absolutely have. So as of 10 o'clock, I don't know where Emily's put my watch. I'm really lost without it, but she's taken my watch and put it somewhere, and I really don't know where it is. But then saying that, I went to put on a boot the other day and found 3 golf balls and a couple of puppets. So, you know, could be anywhere. Could be anywhere. You know, she came wandering into the bathroom the other day with a sword and a cowboy hat on, going yeehaw. So I don't know what goes on in that small person's head. It looks like a wonderful place to me. Point of the story was, yes, if you'd like to have the different advent boxes, and there'll be a few slight alterations. It'll be the same value, different box. Then they went live at 10 o'clock this morning to give everybody a fair crack at the whip. Also, what is now live, because some of you missed out on the scrap bags, and they've got Lewis and Irene, they've got Moda, they've got Kaif, they've got Philip Jacobs, they've got, who else have they got in there? Some William Morris in there, they've got some Salt batiks, they've got some normal batiks in there. And then plus the stuff that we've had on the shows over the last few weeks from where we've cut, so ends of Half Meter Heavens and stuff like that, all gone in. So I managed to load the rest of them this morning. I just didn't have chance to weigh them all out over the weekend. So now they are up and they are on the website as well. What else? Also, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, so we've started to put together some little boxes, little gift boxes, and we'll just wrap a few bits. So this is for anybody that wants to gift for themselves, or has someone that sews that wants a gift. And we've started it with the rose gold, because the rose gold is always so popular as gifts. And I've had to tell Gemma, step away from the rose gold. These are for our customers, because she's like, oh, I could just do with a bit of... I'm like, So let's have a look at some of these, shall we? Before we do that, I managed to get 4 more of these for those of you that were after them. Let me show you this in case you're going, well, what is that you've got? Here we are. These gorgeous little lights. And Inga is very carefully wrapping them. We had to wait for some extra packaging to come in before she very carefully wrapped them. So if you bought them last week, they are on their way today. But we just wanted to... Oh, hang on, that camera's out, isn't it? Let me just move that. There we go. Yeah, so we've managed to do that. And we've also got these on a great deal. Like sort of half pricey type deal. This is your large Fiskars scissors, and they're superb actually, and they're all strapped in, but you can keep that on because they're so sharp. I've put mine in the kit. Yeah, I might have nicked one. Borrowed one. Bought one. I put mine in the kitchen drawer and kept that on so that nobody spikes themselves. But I've managed to get hold of some of those. And also someone was asking the other day, could I get hold of some of these? Because I always use them. I love mine. Absolutely love mine. You just squeeze together and they release, and they're absolutely fab, and they're super, super sharp all the way to the tip. So yes, we can never have enough scissors. I know this. You know this. We all know this. Also, I managed to get hold of, and these ones are new. So, check out these. And it's got all the wood detailing around here. I thought they were rather lovely. So I've got a handful of those, just because I had to go to my supplier and I grabbed what I could, quite frankly, what I could. So we've got those, and right, yes, so gift boxes. So let me give you an idea of what I'm on about. So for example, you could get a gift box which would look like that, and these are rather lovely actually, because they've got like a plastic lining on the inside that you can take out, but I'll send it in that, because then if you ever wanted to use the pot for like plants or anything, then you can. And in here you will get, oh, look at this! Rose gold mini sewing kit. Yes, yes please. The pins, love the rose gold pins. And then this is a bit good. Look, it looks like a lipstick. So when you open it out, whee, these by themselves have already sold out. They only went up yesterday. So that's a bit good. You also get, retractable rose gold tape measure and your fold out scissors. Snip. I keep a pair of these in the car actually, in case I ever need anything in the car, because again, they're safe. So that's what you will get in your lovely little hat box, your mini hat box. And it won't just come like this. It will come. Here's one I prepared earlier, everybody. Each individually wrapped in tissue paper so that each one can be a gift should you wish it to be. So we've got a few little things like that just to see if that's of interest to you guys that are on the website for you. You know, whether you're gifting, whether it's something you can nudge your hubby to get you, then do. We've got, now you see this, I love these bags. And in these ones, I've done sort of everything bag making related for you. So in this one, you'll get your bag clasps, which we've got on the show today, both sizes of the bag clasps. You will get D-rings in, so this is like the ultimate bag bundle. Swivel clips, all in rose gold, so you don't have to search through the website and go, oh, bigger swivel clips. We've got D-rings in 1, 2, 3 different sizes for your bag making. So if you know anyone that loves a bit of bag making, this is like the perfect thing for them. You've also got rose gold bag feet. You've also got the mini rose gold sewing kit in there. And you've also got some of the fast and tacky glue, which is great. Great for with fabric. So all of that, so away go those. 2 different sizes of swivel clips, depending on the size bag that you're making. 3 different size D-rings that will work with your swivel clips. 2 different handles. And your bag feet, all in rose gold, so that everything matches, okay? And again, we're limited to only a handful of these, but they will come, all of them, let me show you, individually wrapped. So it's either a treat for yourself or a treat for somebody else, but they'll come individually wrapped for you and sent out in a nice Christmas bag. So that could just go straight under the tree if you wanted. So that's another option. Then also we've got, I've been getting my Christmas on for the simple reason that this year's been a shocker for many people. So if we can just make life a little bit cheerier, then let's do it. And I'm not going to lie, I had to fight Gemma off these this morning. And so in this little kit, you'll get your pins. Again, your lipstick. Now, you might get a black one, you might get a white one. But also a magnetic pin dish. How cool is that? In your rose gold and your retractable tape measure. So all of those, so 2 sets of scissors, and these are great. I've used these ones for well over a year now, still super sharp. So all of these, I think, is it $39.99 for all of that? And again, we will wrap it and pop it in your box so that you can have that to gift or for yourself or however you like it. But I have a little bit of a thing about rose gold and craft card type stuff, and yeah. Now obviously the scissors aren't going to fit in, so they will be wrapped and just popped with it separately like that. They don't fit in until you take them out of the box, but I'm not going to do that. So that is another option, and again, I've limited on all of these. They're little things that we've put together, and we're hand wrapping everything, so they're there for you if you want. Now, like I say, it's going to be, oh, and the other thing that I need to mention is, because I know that lots of people are doing Black Friday stuff, and I've said to you, I always bring my best price. But as a nod to all of that, we've done a spend £50 and get £5 off. So basically 10% off today. Well, actually, this will run for the week. So if you've seen something that you've wanted and it's gone over £50, then please do make use of that. It should come off automatically. I believe. I'm thirsty today. Right, what else did I have to show you? So yes, like I say, we've got Titi in tomorrow doing bag making. So what I want to start putting together for you, because this was something that always used to annoy me, so I thought I will put it right, is that I used to want things in the same colour, but I didn't want you to have to trawl through websites to get there. So what I've just started to do is put together little bits and bobs together. So if you want, now these are lovely. These work really nicely with swivel clips, or if you just want to have them, you can just attach that and a clip to keep your car keys on or anything like that, and your magnetic sew-in buttons. Now these are your sort of antique brass type colourways, so we've got those just as two little things that work really nicely together. We have also got, if you then want swivel clips. Now these are really handy, and here you're going to get one brass and one nickel, so silvery colour. Again, they work nicely as a little combo there. Ah, this was the bad boy, look at this. So then we've got your D-rings, so this is out your rose gold again, D-rings and swivel clips in various sizes. Now I will have these by tomorrow. I will have these in silver colour, well the nickel colour, and the gold colour, and black as well, black nickel. So there you've got your bag feet and your D-rings. And again, so that if you know that rose gold is the colour that you like to make your bags out of, then why not get you've got it then, haven't you? There's nothing worse than getting a pattern for a bag and going, oh, but I don't have anything to go with it. So I just thought I would save you the trawl through the website and put everything together for you. Like I say, tomorrow we will have this in all of the other colours as well, ready for a bag making show. But I was getting ahead a little bit. And also, you see, just to update you on the staff situation, our lovely Emma is leaving us in the new year, so Gemma is coming on board, and so she's taking over and she's learning the ropes. So she had to learn how to load stuff onto the website yesterday. She's done a cracking job. So yeah, that's why I started. Get ahead, get loading. So yeah, Emma is heading off to start a new business with her husband, and I will be very sad to see her go. But we've all got our own paths we've got to go. Now, let's have a look at, because these will be all the colours that we've got. And these are available individually. These are your bag clasp things, because, you know, these are just gorgeous for all sorts of gifts. So we've got them in the nickel colour, nickel silver, they call it. And these are all loaded on the website. We've got them in the beautiful gold. There we are. And then we've got them, oh no, you see both sizes again in the rose gold. Now what I love about these, and which this is the reason why I went for these ones, is because, I don't know if you can see there, can you see? The fact that you can actually see through those holes means that if you aren't a fan of gluing, you can tack. You can sew these on if you want to. That you have that option. So that's why I went for these. And also with these larger ones, if you want to, you can flip those up and add a handle or a chain or something like that. I love these. And when you look at the price of them in the shops, with the bags already made, and they're not necessarily going to go with your outfit or anything like that. I'm like, you what now? You want 60 quid for that? Are you kidding me? And so then you've got, that's your rose gold in the 125 ml one. And then, yes, so these are the black, these are the nickel black ones. And I thought they were really smart. I thought they were really, imagine that with some black velvet. It'd be amazing. Oh, Carol, talking of velvet, I've just remembered. I managed to get some more of that lovely deep blue velvet for you because you wanted to make a jacket out of it. So I've got that for you. That's just arrived. If you just ping us a message and info@natashamakes.com, and we will get that all loaded and sorted for you. So yes, these bags, let's have a look at these, shall we? I've got for you, well, this is what I started doing, and I ran out of time. I'll be honest, completely ran out of time to finish it off and actually attach the handle. But look at that. Now I think that would also, I mean that's the rose gold, but I think that would look stunning with the silver as well. Well, any of them really. And I've got one drying as we speak. Again, using the brassica, that's all ready to go in. Using the brassica. So what I've done with the brassica, because when we had it on the quilt last week, loads of you were like, oh, that's really gorgeous. Are you selling it on its own? Well, we weren't, but if you do want this, I did buy a couple of extra bolts because I thought that you might like it. I thought you might want it. This is brassica. This is Philip Jacobs for the K Facet Collective, and it's a bit gorgeous, and because I've got enough of it, we can cut it to order for you, so occasionally we can do that for you. So I was just thinking, Karen, this would make an amazing winter dress, just saying. It is one of my all-time favourite fabrics. Absolutely. And so, whoops, yeah, we've got enough there for you if you want to buy 1 metre or 2 metres, or if you're dressmaking 3.5 metres, whatever you like, it's there, okay? And that is available for you. And then if you are someone who quilts and if you want to get 1/2 metres that go with it, they're also available as well. So we've got those. So if you just put in brassica as a search, or just put in today's show, it'll all come up for you. So I am no expert bag maker. All right, let's just let's just get that out there before we start. And I have sat with clasps, clutch clasps in my cupboard because I was scared to create a pattern. Like the bit where you actually have to stuff it in there and go, that's all right, like we can do that bit, that's no problem. But the bit where where people go, well, so you just make your own pattern and that's fine. I'm like, no, what? Hang on, what? How do I, what? And I've looked at lots of different ways in which people do these. And sometimes they leave raw edges along the top, and sometimes they don't. But what I wanted to show for you today is a way that I'm working and that I really like, which gives you something more solid to put in the top because it's all finished off. So let me just show you this. So you've got a top stitched seam around there, which will then go up into there really nicely. And the thing is, with these, you can either glue it in place, or like I say, you can just stitch through, or you can stitch through and baste it to hold it there whilst you then go up with your glue. So, you know, whatever's going to work for you. I wanted to show you this method because then when you actually look at the bag, you know, I've started to stitch it in, you'll see there's no join. You've just got 2 seams down the side, and that's it. And also I wanted to have one with a box bottom. So I have. And I wanted to show you how. Okay. Because whatever size you go for today, or maybe you've got some sitting in the cupboard already, and let's talk about how we're going to show these and design these. So this is a way that I've really liked. The very first thing that we're going to do is get ourselves a stack of paper, and we're going to fold it in half, just an A4 sheet. And an A4 sheet. There are so many different ways of doing this out there. But let's start at this point. And I'm going to use quite a thick marker for you so that you can all see. Alrighty. So here we are. Let's go with this. Let me move this out of the way. You will have a center point on your bag, on your handle rather, and that's pretty much where these overlap. So I'm going to put that on the center line. Okay. Now here's the other thing with it. I'm going to put down here where my bag end bits, I'm going to put that on the center line. So let me start marking from that center point round the outside. Now remember, I'm going in a nice thick pen here for you. And we're only going to do a half rather, because that's all we really need to do. Let me find my other ruler. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Oh well, creative Brit it is. We'll just do that. So and we'll just, let me just mark in this halfway mark for you. So that all of this is hopefully really clear to see. Because then what we'll do is just fold it in half and cut it out. So we don't need to worry about this half, because that will be taken, that's... Oh, Nikki, what's happening? Emma's leaving. What have I missed? Yeah, you know, she's they're going to go and run a guest house in Devon. So she's like, well, we can do all sorts of residential sewing things. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff going on. Alrighty, so let's just, if you want to continue that line down, but when you open it, you need some leeway for your fabric. So if you put that back on there, on the very tip of this curve, you're going to use that as a pivot point and pivot out. All right. But how far do we pivot? Like, it's confusing. How far do we pivot out? So what I'm going to suggest you do is mark yourself another line. There we are. An inch away. Okay. And then from that point where you pivot, so pivot it from there, the minute it hits there, so pivot, 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 it's going to hit there. That's where we're going to go to. So we're going to mark from that pivot point out to there. And this now becomes our line. And this is a mark that we're going to mark onto everything. Okay, let me show you this close up. So on that very tip there, that was where we pivoted it, and that was the mark that we made where it touched an inch away from the initial mark there. And so this now becomes our outer of our bag, so that when we open it, we've got stuff there. All right. Now, what we then have to decide is how do we want it to finish it off. So if you pop that back on there, how do you envisage it being? Do you want it to sort of echo and have the same down the bottom as you do up the top? Do you want it to be curved? Do you want it to be straight? How do you want it to be? So for me, I'm going to have at least the same again this side. And then just add on a little bit. A bit like when you, if you paint, then you tend to leave more at the bottom than you do at the top when you frame it. So I'm just going to add on from where that is, just add on maybe an extra inch. Okay. And the beauty of using your rulers to do this is that, of course, everything lines up. So I know that if I'm lining up with that line and that line, then the line that I draw along there will all be in keeping. Now, I wanted to have a boxed bottom, did I not? Yes, I did. So what I will now do is mark an inch square here. So what I now have is the top, we're going to come along there, down there, and then this boxes out the bottom, and that goes along to there. And we'll cut that out. So fold it back on itself like that, on that initial mark that you made. Then have a rummage for your paper scissors. Do you know what? These have been relegated now to paper because we have two of these gorgeous ones, and one was paper and one wasn't, and then the wrong one got used for paper. Uh-oh. And actually something sticky by the feels of it as well. Nice. If you're working with the smaller clasp, then don't go out to the full inch, go out 3/4 of an inch. But what I would do is keep life simple. So if you've marked out 3/4 of an inch to there and drawn your line for where that's going to swing out to, then why don't you make your box bottom the same? Okay. And then when we open that up, that is now our template. And if someone had ever said to me, it's that easy, I might not have put off making them for quite so long, but nobody did. Now, what I want to do now will be mark this part. So that angle there, that's going to be, you want to mark that on every side that you can. I'm using a Sharpie so it comes through quite easily, but you're going to mark that on your fabric every which way. Oh, Jan, have you missed the advent box again? Oh no. Let me see what I can do. Right. It's the same shape as the tea bag in your mug. Is that where the inspiration came from? Yes, Elizabeth, I draw inspiration from all around. Absolutely. So now we need to transfer this onto our fabric. And you know, if you've got a Philip Jacobs or something like that, or a Cave that you're working with, and you want to fussy cut, then do. And here's the thing. So with this pattern, this can be a fold line. This is the base of your bag, and you can see here there's no stitch line along there. So if you want to and you don't have a directional fabric and you're quite happy to do so, then, you know, fold it. If I do that, you can see the pattern runs through there. So if I fold that up with those leaves in the middle there, then I will get that as my main bit and that on the other side, and it will be a bit blooming gorgeous. That's for sure. Gemma, are you getting to know everybody? So you might have seen Gemma's name on our little YouTube and our Facebook groups quite a lot. Gemma brought us such things as the stowaway bag, and what else have you brought us, Gem? And the infinity scarf and various other things. And I've been trying to get her to design for us for a long, long time, and she's only just seeing that it's a good thing. She's also knee deep in my Hochanda orders from last week. Bless her. So you will get to know everyone. I promise. I will, when we can, we will bring them on screen, etc., so that you can meet the whole of the Makes team. But Emma, yeah, gosh, Emma's been in my life for 20 odd years. She's not gonna get out of it that easily. Now, this is your actual size. This is where it's going to be. Okay, so what we want to do is add on a seam allowance, and if you are happy to work with 1/4 of an inch, then either add it onto your pattern beforehand or pin it on and add it on now. So I'm using a Creative Grids ruler. So down one side, we know with the Creative Grids that there is always going to be 1/4 of an inch marked, which is fabulous. Now at this point, I'm going to put that mark in there, okay? And then along this top here, so don't stress about the curves or anything like that. You can sort of fudge that as you go. No, I was chatting to him on the phone today, and I am very lucky with the team that we have, because just everyone is fabulous. There we go. So you've got your 1/4 of an inch marked all the way along. We're going to use that fold line there. If you are using a directional fabric, then add a seam along there and cut it out just in one piece like you would normally. This is my newfound love of these pink scissors. They're a bit good. I am hearting them quite a lot at the moment. I've always been a Fiskars girl, and I stand by that. I do love Fiskars, but when my supplier went, you really need to try these as well, Natasha, because they are also good. There is room for another set of exceptional scissors in my life. That's for sure. And these are pretty phenomenal, I have to say. Oh, it would help actually, wouldn't it, if I just undid that. There we go. Curve off those edges. Give it a quick press. And we're all good. So that is your pattern outer pieces done. And you will just do the exact same thing for the lining. What colour do we fancy having the lining with this? I think we might go, should we go dark blue? Ooh, yeah. Why not? Why not, hey? So again, work on a fold if you want. we're going to need a little bit more fold going on. And if that means that you need to press it, then do. And basically the same thing. On the fold, draw around. Just secure those with just a couple of pins down there. And then I want to talk interfacing with you. Now, on tomorrow's show, because it's all dedicated to bag making, I've managed to get hold of all sorts of different types of baggy bits. Sounds weird, doesn't it? By baggy bits, I mean stabilizers and stuff like that that you need as soon as you start bag making, and that aren't always readily available. So I've done my homework. I have got a lot in for you so that hopefully you'll have everything that you need for your bag making needs, because I know that lots of you are going to be making for Christmas, because as much as we try and deny the fact that Christmas is happening, it's happening this year, and it might be one nice thing that happens this year, which would be amazing. So just quickly adding in that seam allowance all the way around as I go, and then cutting that out the same with whichever pair of the many scissors I happen to have in front of me. Are you all right there, by the way? I love it when Elizabeth tries to tell Ginny that she's being deadly serious. Since when, Elizabeth, are you deadly serious about anything? You have one of the best senses of humour. And good morning, Ginny. There we go. I love this blue. It's the marine blue, and it should be in everyone's stash. I was gonna do the brassica as a half-metre heaven, and then I thought, well, no, hang on a minute. What about Karen and her dressmaking? What if, what if there are people that want a metre? What if I don't put it with the colour that people love? I just thought, what if you want to quilt with it? But you didn't get, you didn't get the big quilt kit that we have behind us, but you still want the fabric. So if that is the case, do not worry, because we've got the complimentary one there. Right. And of course, if you're spending £50, you get £5 off, and we'll run that for this week rather than lots of different, monies off, and suddenly we managed to bring you this half price and all that kind of stuff. Right, so we've marked off again where we need it marking off. And then I want to bring in some interfacing. So pop that to one side. We've got our 2 pattern pieces there. And then H640 works an absolute treat. Always, always, always. And here is my pattern piece again. And again, I'm keeping on that fold line. Now this time what I'm going to do is add 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, but not along the top. So I'll add the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance to there. That mark that we made. So that mark there will do that. Only one scrap bag left, and the advent calendar's gone again. Ems, if you want to load another 5 advent calendars, then let's see if that helps everybody and see where we get to with that. So my 1/4 of an inch was there. There we go. And then, thanks, Ems. quarter of an inch along there, quarter of an inch there. I've got my quarter of an inch going on over here, and then there. So as we did for all of the other pieces, but only to those pointers there. Okay, then you're just going to draw around or cut round or whatever you need to do on that line. So not adding any seam allowance, which was why I cut it out without any seam allowance in the first place. Oh, this is a double-ended Sharpie. It's got like a really nice fine point on one end, but I keep putting the little lid there. Can I find it? No, I can't. Put it to one side. So all we now need to do is again trim that, but then this is giving us that actual line, and we're going to use that as a guide for sewing. Okay, these are good. Oh, these are good. Should have put more of these. Right. So the next thing you want to do is fuse all of that together. Fuse it to the front or the back, doesn't really matter, as long as it's fused somewhere. What did I do with the lid? Can anyone see the lid? I don't know. Let's fuse it to the front, shall we? You know, you can obviously use whatchamacallit? What's the word I want? I've lost all my words today. I don't know where it's gone. It's somewhere with the lid, probably, hiding. Yeah, a pressing sheet. But if I do it this way, then you will see. So what I'm hoping, right, so this can happen. You can see here, like we added the seam allowance on that, and it hasn't done. So what I'm going to go back in and double check is how much was taken up with that fold. So just go in and double check yourself. Yeah, you see, look. And that can happen because this is bouncier. So just come along around there and just double check your cutting, which is what I'm going to do. But you should have a quarter of an inch seam around that top part. And if you haven't, it could be because it's just a little bit bouncy, and that's okay. So then let's go again. Yeah, so we've got more of a seam allowance now. There we go. Still coming up a little bit short on that side, but we'll go with it. I think that's more my cutting than anything else. Yeah, look at that. I can't cut in a straight line. That's why. Oh, it's one of those mornings. I don't know if any of you caught any of my shows on Hochanda, but when I do the one-day specials, honestly, I'm useless for about 4 days afterwards. It's really tiring because you have to be there super late, which I'm never great with, and then back in again super early the next day. And yeah, I'm still not quite with it. So once that's fused, then pop it right sides together, and you're going to sew from that line that we keep marking everywhere, straight down, both sides. Okay, so let's do that. With a quarter of an inch seam, so just get it under that foot. And forwards and backwards. Spin it around. Up we go. Stopping again on that line and then backwards a couple of bits. Then we're going to box the bottoms straight away. So just pull apart and find that middle line and then 1/4 of an inch. And if you need to measure where that middle point is, then do. But it needs to be flat when you take it to your sewing machine. And again, that 1/4 of an inch seam. Other side. And actually with this, the sewing bit's actually the really quick bit. There we go. Then grab your lining fabric and do the exact same thing. So we're going to sew from that mark you can either do a holding stitch or go backwards and forwards. Whee! And if there you go. And then here it's kind of easier to see because you've got that fold line there. So normally you'd match seam to seam, wouldn't you? But you're going to match that fold line because we've got that seamless bottom. And if you need to, put your hand in and align it. That makes life easy. You can see the stitches on this, can't you? There you go. And then down the other side. And then if you've got loads of other ways, by the way, I know there's more than one way to do all of these things. That's the same like with cooking and whatnot, isn't it? There's always more than one way. And what I want to do is probably put a few together at some point. So I haven't written a pattern exactly for this because I kind of want to save and do like many ways with a clasp, so that you can pick one that suits you. So already you can see they're taking shape. So spin that round the right way and put right sides in together. And this is where you want to be careful. So open up those seams at that point on both sides. In fact, possibly press them, so that your seams aren't sewn across one another. In fact, I'll probably press that so that I can do that more easily. And just press the top bit open. You don't have to go to the bother of pressing the whole thing. Just finger press the top of it open. And press. Because we stopped just shy of the top. Yeah. It's slightly trickier to do when there's the wadding as well, but If you need to, get something like your tailor's ham and just use that to just help finger press. There we are, open, and then just go in and press that. Tailor's hams are great for stuff like that, aren't they? And again, open up those seams. And this is going to give a really sturdy little bag that can be a clutch, which is fab. So now those seams are pressed open, it's far easier to line them up on here. So right sides together, line them up. And if you want to pop a quick pin in, then do. Oh, it's a pretty one. And then over this side. Do, 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 do. And if you want to align these top bits, then you can, or clip them, or do whatever you want with them. And you'll use your interfacing, whether you've used H640, whether you've used a bit of wadding that you've got left over from a quilt and you've 505 sprayed it on, that works too. Whether you just went for a medium weight interfacing, that's fine. The trick is to test the fabric to see how rigid you want. Once it's got whatever it is on there attached to it, is it how floppy you want it to be? How's it going to drape? And just take a look at that. And if you're happy with how it drapes once it's got whatever attached to it, then you're all good. And if you're not, then do something about it. Now we're going to leave a turning through gap on one of these top sides. Okay, so everything is pinned and we are all good to go. I will start from my turning through gap there. I'm going to leave sort of a bit along there, and I'm going to stitch it from the top so that I can use this as my guide for where I'm going to stitch. So let me get rid of possibly my phone and everything else. We don't need all of that right now. Okay, so, and off we go. Now as you come down to here where you've pressed your seams apart, you'll be able to just go across and then up the other side. But I'm following that interfacing as I go round. Oh, hang on. I haven't finished there, did I? Started midway. Hello. Gosh, hang on, start again. Helps if I actually go up to the point that I'd marked to finish, wouldn't it? So come round there. And then, there we go. Let's now turn that through. Some days. If you want to, then you can snip in round the curve if you want to, or you can get your, whoops, not those ones, just your pinking shears out round that corner. But actually, I quite like having a little bit of extra in there, because otherwise, you see everybody going for string and stuff to push in the top. And actually, if you've got a little bit of extra body in there, you don't have to do that so much. So turn everything through. Right, here's my tip. Go for the furthest point and start with that to pull through. And it just makes turning through a little bit easier. And I don't know why it's taken me so long to know this. I really don't know. I have absolutely no idea. And gently ease out those corners. There's box bottom. No seam, you see, it's lovely. And again with that bit. And then we will get in and press these seams. So if you want to, where you did that turning through, just fold the seam under, because we'll top stitch around there, and that will then hopefully hold all that in place. So just give that a little press, and if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, because it's going to be up in your clasp. This is why it's so clever, because you just don't get that seam anywhere, which is just fab. And because of how we stitch those corner bits, they've got the give that we need, because we didn't cross over the seams. So you see they are all good, they've got movement there. And then so for those of you that have that skill of rolling out the seam, do it. I don't. But just taking that time just to press it nicely will just make life easier. There we go. And then you just want to top stitch round. So should we go and do that? If you want to just hold that in place, the pin, then do. But like I say, this is going to be encapsulated, so it doesn't really matter. So let's start down here. Are we threaded? No, we've managed to come unthreaded. Hurrah. Let's rethread that very quickly. There we go. So, by a 1/4 of an inch, not a quarter, an eighth, sorry, that's what I'm trying to say, by an eighth, round we go. And if you need to go in a little bit closer to try and get that seam, then do. Just saves you ladder stitching or anything like that. And this is just going to make it easier when you start to insert this into the clasp, because you've, rather than trying to put in raw edges, which is where I've always come unstuck, rather than trying to poke in raw edges, you've got a nice seam there ready to go. And now what you're left with is a really neat top around there. You can already see how this is going to shape up. So you fussy cut that. Yeah. And whether it's the rose gold or whether it's the silver, the silver would look amazing. Then all that needs to happen with these is you find your center point, and you can mark off your center point and match that again in there. And you see how easily that just is going to go up into there, how much more easily that pops in there. And then if you need to put some cord or something in there as you glue that in, or if you want to, you can just stitch it, remember. And that's the beauty of this. So that's my way, and it just means that you've got a nice easy edge to put in there. Yeah, and of course you can do it for any size that you like. Yeah. And if you just want, if you're buying this one and you just want me to scan that in and email it to you, I can do that too, and then you don't even have to go to the bother of doing that. But that I think is going to be gorgeous, and I might do it with the silver, so I won't pop that in now. But yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nice. Very, very nice. So we've got them in all the different colours. They make great gifts. They make great makeup bags, wash bags, clutch bags, depending on what kind of fabric you want. My next thing I think I want to do is actually use this as a lining and do denim on the outside. Could you imagine then opening it up to that? Amazing. So there we are. So tomorrow we've got an expert bag maker in. Looking forward to that. I will go and see, I'm going to go and have a little count up and see how many more of the advent boxes we can make. Thank you, by the way, you've really blown me away with your support on that. It's incredible. And the way that we've done it is, I can show you actually. Not to give too much away, but what you'll get is Christmas Advent Day 1. So what they've been wrapped with is the day that you need to open. So Christmas Advent Day 9, and you open that one. So if there are any of you that wanted to talk amongst yourselves about what you'd got, then I couldn't work out another way of doing it so that you all opened the same thing on the same day. But of course, don't forget, there will be some variants, and it is a surprise. And what was the other thing I was going to say? I'm still working on the 12 days of Christmas. I figure I've got a little bit longer to sort that one out, which we'll have some. Well, I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to give away, but I've got some nice plans for that as well. So we've got the Advent box. I'll see if I can load any more. I'll pop that on. I think we had one scrap bag left. We've got the little gift wrapped goodies, just to see if that's something that appealed, whether you're buying for yourself, whether you're treating somebody else, whether you want your husband to buy for you and he never knows what to get, and you go, look, this one's even wrapped. You don't even have to wrap it. That's always a winner in our household, for my husband, that's for sure. And yeah, so there we go. And tomorrow I'll put into different collections the silver colour, so the silver nickel, the black, and the brass and the gold, so that if you want to buy your bag making in, you know, a collection, then hopefully that'll make life a little bit easier, and then you've always got the right size for whatever the pattern is calling for. Okay, yeah. And then of course we've got the extra boxes there with the deer on. I think that's everything. And if you spend £50, you get £5 off. There we are. That's everything. Is there anything? Are you all just giggling about my tea bags and the fact that my bag now? No, hang on a minute. Elizabeth Prangle, I'm going to take. It's not the same shape when it's. Oh yeah, no, maybe it is. I'll give you that one. I'll give you my, I was going to say, give you my tea bag. Nobody wants my soggy tea bag. Right, anyway. See what happens? See? Right. I need another cuppa. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Gemma, you did the cutlery and napkin roll as well. Forgot about that one. Okay. All right, then. I will see. Hang on. Gemma, no. Whenever Gemma starts saying 23 plus years, I reckon, that's not how old I am. That's possibly how long I've known Gemma. Whew. Gosh, there's a scary thought. Okay, all right then, you lot. Yes, I will keep Emma. If Emma's happy for me to let everybody know how she's getting on, then we can all descend on her in her new guest house and go and do some sewing stuff there. Yay! Alrighty then. I used the dark blue in my head and the same time you picked. Oh, Laurie, yeah, Laurie used the blue as well for the lining. It's gorgeous, isn't it? But in here, I used the light blue, and that's pretty gorgeous too, because look, I had more of the icy bit there. They all work, and you can have as much. Heather's getting the rose gold for Christmas. Good on you. And there we are. There we go. We asked about your... Was asked about your smarts at the weekend. Directed them to your website. Oh, thank you, Susan. Thank you very much. Natalie's got her Christmas makes now on hold. Oh, after wondering how to hamster-proof the tree. Yeah. Won't be... I mean... I won't be putting up any decorations this year. Found out last week I've got a new job. Well done. But that means finding somewhere to live. Oh. Packing up my house ready to move out just before Christmas and move cross country to Lincolnshire in between Christmas and the New Year. Wow, Natalie, good luck. Good luck. So Natalie lives in Wales and she's got to move to Lincolnshire. We managed it in 10 days. When I started at Create and Craft all those years ago, they decided they wanted me, having spent months and months and months not knowing. And then they decided they wanted me, and they decided they wanted me there in 10 days. So we had 10 days to find a house and move. The horses, the animals, everything, children, husband's work, everything from Cornwall to Lincolnshire. Yeah, in 10 days. So it can be done. I think my mum and dad were brilliant. They did a lot of packing with us. So very best of luck. Hopefully you can still watch. And what is your new job? Tell us. All right. Gosh, lots of new starts in the new year for everybody. This is very exciting. Oh, well, very best of luck. Is that your lid behind the phone rest? No, it's not a pen. I still haven't found it. I'm going to have a good rummage. But thank you. Thank you for looking. All right, you lot, have a lovely rest of the day. And I will see you with our new guest tomorrow, bright and early. Well, not that early, 10 o'clock really. I'm going to go and refresh my tea, for it's a bit cold and whammy now. See you later. Bye-bye.